Alright, g'day guys and welcome back to another video. Tonight we're going to be continuing our look at Obsidian. It's a note-taking application that we've recently become aware of, and it seems pretty damn good for replacing Realmworks or other campaign management tools that many of us have been using over the years. So we've been talking a lot about this tool today in the Realmworks community. There's been a lot of questions, there's been a lot of people sort of downloading it for the first time and jumping into this tool, and a lot of questions sort of coming out about where to get started. So I thought that'd be a great sort of introduction video for us to start with. We're going to go through how to open the tool and get started, and how to download some plugins and really start making the tool sort of shine in the direction that we need it to shine. So first, let's just jump over and have a look. If anyone is new to this channel, we do have a Facebook group that you're more than welcome to join, so do a search for the Obsidian Facebook TTRPG user group and come and join us, and I'll be posting my videos up there regularly. Of course you can otherwise like and subscribe to my videos as well. So without further ado, let's jump over to Obsidian. So once you've done the installation, and if anyone wants to know where to get that from, you just go to obsidian.md.com. Alright, and as you can see here, there are various options available for you to download the tool, including on mobile devices, which is quite interesting. Looking forward to trying that out. But all of your standard operating environments are covered. For those Realmwork users, we used to just have Windows, and now you can technically move to Linux if you like, and certainly play around with that. It is a free application for the most part. So this section here, which is the primary part that we would be using as content campaign managers, is free. What you do have though is there is some different options here. So publish, and this is literally the ability to publish part of your realm to a website, which I imagine could be really useful for if making content available to your players, for example. That could be really interesting. But that is a paid service, so you can pay $20 per month or $192 per year in order to get access to that functionality. The other one that's quite interesting is sync. So let's say you're using your PC during the day, and then you go to work on the bus and you're using your mobile phone. You can actually enable synchronization here, and as you can see, that's $10 a month or $96 per year in order to turn that functionality on. So I imagine that could be really quite useful for some people. Regardless, download your file, install it wherever you like, and get to that basic point. I assume everyone knows how to get that far. And largely what you'll be presented with when you start the application for the first time is this sort of window here, where basically we need to create a vault. And for the Realmworks users, that's a realm. It's effectively a container that's going to contain all of your campaign management information, topics, pictures, sounds, all that sort of stuff. So create a vault. I've created one in the background here. We're not going to be going through that one today. I'm going to try and start you from a blank slate. So what we have here is I've made one called the demo vault. Obviously if you're doing this for a new time, the first time, you are going to need to create a new vault and pick a place to save it. So I'll open that one now. And this is how we start. Imagine this is where some of you have been reaching out to me today saying, Josh, what do I do? I'm confused, I don't know where to start, it's all so overwhelming. And when you're looking at it like this, it certainly can be. So let's just start off really simple with, there are those of us who like the dark sort of themes, and those of us that don't like the dark themes. So what you can do is come down here to the settings cog, and you'll see me refer to the settings quite often, so obviously get used to where it is sitting. And what we can do is come down here to appearance, we can come over here to themes, we can click manage. And then we have a whole host of choices that we can make on how we want this to sort of look and feel. So you can see some examples here. Quite like that one, so I'm going to use that one today. Here we go. As you can see, it's applied that theme quite efficiently, and now obviously we've got a complete different look and feel. Now, outside of that, the basic functionality, there's two things that you need to learn. There are folders and there are notes. Folders contain notes. Actually, you know what? I really dislike that yellow. So we're going to go back to a minimal setting one, because that's going to do my head in. Alright, so folder name and notes. And you can see here that you can drag these things around, for example. So if you had second folder, you can drag the note into there, and you can see that expand out. Outside of that, you can type. So this is my text. What we can do is find a picture. Alright, just got a picture of a cat. I'm going to copy the image, and I'll come over here and just paste the image. And now we can see here that we have a cat. So very, very simple to sort of do some of the very basic stuff. Alright, let's create another note. There's note 2. And from here what we can now do is do bracket bracket, and it comes up, and we can now type what we want to link. We can go note 2. We'll go back into preview mode, which is effectively stopping editing. You can see we've got our picture, we've got our link. If we click the link, we're now in note 2. So what we can do is here is we can put in a link to note 1. Now we can go backwards and forwards. Alright, so that's how linking is done. As obviously from the Realmworks users, you're gonna probably going, oh god, I'm giving up automatic linking. And I feel for you guys, like I'm with you, I get it. We've had an amazing run. Automatic linking that Realmworks offers is just uncontested in the market as far as I'm concerned. And look, if Lowmorph development were in a better place, I would certainly not be recommending another tool at this stage, but ultimately my faith in that tool is not strong right now, so obviously I am seeking out an alternative. I'm more than happy to use a stronger tool with a better development team that's getting obviously supported and getting patches. I'll give up my automatic linking as much as I'm not too happy about it. Anyway, so we've got notes, which is fantastic. Another really cool thing here, which is a basic part of the functionality, is this graph view. We can see here it's automatically picked up that we've created my notes and note 2, and you can see it's already created a link between these. You can drag these things around just for a bit of fun, but you can also color code them and things like that. You'll get into that in more depth as you go, but as you can see, this is the basic functionality. Folders, notes, and the linking that sits behind that. This is all the sort of the stuff that comes with this tool. Now, when you're in a note over here, you can see that the links is mentioned. So very much like Realmworks, where I had the links over on the right-hand pane, you've got that as well. We've got very strong search functionality here. So it's very quick, it's very easy to use. And I really I quite like how responsive this application is, and I've already put a fair chunk of data in just to play, and I've watched a lot of videos where people have put in a hell of a lot of data, and the application is still really just speedy and responsive, and I really like that. So look, that's the basic functionality, and obviously you're sitting here going, well, that doesn't look like much, and right now you're absolutely right that it's not. Now I'm just going to drag this window over here. What we're going to do is go through how to install a plugin, because this tool is just like a foundation, and the plugins just come along and add all these elements to it, and it's just so exciting what you can do. So what we do is we go down to settings, Alright, that brings this window here up. You're going to be in here a fair bit, so get used to it. What we're going to do is go down here to, I think we've got core plugins. These are the officially supported plugins, and go through here and have a look. There might be things that you like for me, I like the tag pane. You can turn on daily notes, you can turn on templates. There's some really cool stuff in here, so I recommend you go through and have a bit of a play. But where we're really interested in is the community plugins. Now, safe mode is on, so therefore community plugins are disabled, and that's the nature of the beast, right? Whenever you've got the community creating stuff, there's always a risk. So, you know, you do have to approach this in your own mindset on how you feel about that. I'm going to turn safe mode off, though. I'm going to turn it off, and now we have access to the community plugins. So, I have added a lot of these, and what I'm going to do is share my screen from my other campaign world so you can see the ones that I've added. And we'll pause, and so you can pause the video if you like and you can see what we've got. But what I've got is 5th edition stat blocks. This basically adds monster stat blocks into the tool. Very, very cool. Admonition. I don't know how we say that, but that's basically going to allow you to make callout boxes, so readme boxes or callout boxes. Banners lets you add a picture to the top of your topics, so just a banner, which is really cool. Buttons adds functionality for enabling buttons, so you can add buttons to your forms and you can make those buttons do things. Some of the other add-ons or plugins require you have this installed, so that's why I've got that. Data view. This is amazing, guys. Data view is amazing. We're going to have a few videos on data view, I'm sure. I'm coming up with ideas. Dice roller. Dice roller is as it sounds. It's a dice roller. It enables you to have some dice. Fantasy calendar is as it sounds. It's a calendar. Find and replace is always just useful. Folder note. This one here is really important. I'm going to walk you through that in a separate video. But by default, you can't add notes, text, or pictures, for example, to a folder. A folder has got a name, and that's it. It's a folder. Notes go in folders. I don't like that. Coming from Realmworks, I'm very used to having my container, or my parent container, have information. And what I would usually do if I'm building, let's say, a dungeon, is I'll have a parent container called the dungeon name. And then underneath that, I'll have all of the rooms that exist in that dungeon. And then in the parent container, I'll have a picture of the map. I'll pin that map and I'll link that to all of the children topics underneath it. I wanted to do the same thing. Folder note is going to allow you to do that, so definitely recommend that. Icon folders, you can see down the side here, I've added some icons to some of my folders. That's what that is for. And then we got some more icons. Image toolkit, this one's really cool. I found that the default images, image control mechanisms within the tool weren't great. When I clicked on an image, it wasn't able to zoom enough, so image toolkit allows me to zoom as much as I like. It allows me to go full screen, and I've got a feeling we could potentially use that as a workaround for not having a player screen that Realmworks used to offer us. Initiative tracker, no need for Hero Lab anymore, or improved initiative if you're using that one. This is very similar to improved initiative, and it's working straight out of this tool, and I love that. Kanbans, if anyone likes to use Kanbans, like Trello for example, then you can use Kanbans. Mind map, I haven't played with this yet, but it's a different type of mind map, which could be cool. Obsidian leaflet, this one's an absolute must-have. This is your map plugin. This is how you're going to add pins to your map. It allows you to draw on your maps. Obsidian tabs, I've actually turned this off, but it changes the way the tabs work. So right now, if you click a tab, you might have seen it in my previous video, the tab opens and then you can drag it around. This just changes it so that they kind of like expand out. It's a bit different, so people might like that. Obsidian 42 Brat, this is actually for beta testing, and specifically what I'm using it for is the 5th edition stat blocks. I'm on version 2 now, which is in a beta stage, but look, we'll go through that in a bit more depth. Pain relief, this gives you a bit more history for your pain, so you can see up here I've got a 19 next to my back button, so I was keeping track of what pains have seen what so that the history moves a bit better. Style settings I haven't really played with yet, but apparently you can change the view and feel of everything. And then timelines. Obviously Realmworks community for a long time has been asking for calendars, and timelines is a feature that kind of just goes alongside that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can do with timelines. So these are all of the add-ons that I currently have installed, and look, I've only been scratching the surface of this application for a couple of hours now. I would say there's probably more. And look, we're going to need to manage some sort of list of recommended add-ins for everyone to use, and obviously we'll be doing that through the Facebook group, so feel free to join, and we'll obviously keep track of the add-ons that we're using there, and we can all recommend new ones to each other. But if we jump over back to our demo mode, what we have here is obviously we haven't got any of these add-ins installed yet, so how do we do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the first one, Admonition, and this is so you can do your call out buttons. Admotion? No, I don't know. You click it, you can see here it gives you a bit of an explanation of what it does. I really love this. It gives you readme files for all of your add-ons so you can see how it's working. It gives you code examples so you can see what you need to do in order to use it. And obviously all of the add-ons have one of these pages so that you can get an idea of what it is that you're downloading. You can see here they're giving an example of what this add-on does, and as I said, it's full call-out boxes, right? So we can go ahead and click install. You can see it's installing up the top here. Alright, once it's installed, it's going to pop up and say installation complete. So here we go, successfully installed. Sorry, excuse me. And we can now click enable. Alright, so that's now enabled. Now we'll close that window out. And what we can do is we can come down here to plugin options, and you can see there's now an option for this application. And here we can see some different settings for it. Just so we go back here, it's also added it back to the installed plugin sections down here, and you can turn that on and off using that button there. You can also click it to get back into your notes if that's what you want to see, and see those documentations there. So every add-on generally has settings, from what I'm finding, that you can obviously modify and take them from there. So as we can see, I didn't know that was there. There's some different options, but I've just seen one that I really like. Read aloud. Sorry, I wasn't going to show you this, but you know, we're here now, so we'll just pick a apple for now. We can give it a color. Alright. Now we have read aloud. I didn't know we could do that, so that's really cool, and that gives you an idea of the sort of functionality that some of these add-ons and things can offer, right? This tool is so customizable. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted. We now have our plugin installed. We now have our plugin enabled. We've gone through the settings. We understand what it's doing. And now we can basically close that and come back to here. And now you're like, well, bugger, what do I do now? So let's have a look. We've got nothing in here. You'd be like, I want to do a call out note. Nope, that's not going to work. And this is where some people probably get confused. What I tend to do is go back in here into the settings for this, into the notes, and you can see here that there's some recommendations on how to use this. What we can do is just basically cut and paste this, and there was a really nice lengthy example for this somewhere that I found. I think I actually might have copy and pasted it out, but let's just grab that. Alright, so we're going to grab that note. I'm going to come back here, and then we can come in here and we can paste it, and then we go back into preview mode. Sorry, when I pasted it, what it's done is it's added these. I've noticed it does this. Get rid of the 4. You only need 3 of these little indents, and it's the button next to your 1 key. Alright, boom, now we have a note. So really, really easy. This is my read aloud text. There we go, that's the read aloud that I put in before. Does it bring? Oh, there we go. If I don't set an icon, it just defaults to my apple that I set. So that's as easy as it is, guys. And if you've got a bunch of text, oh, there's my notes for the video. You can just cut and paste it in, right? And then you can even come in here and format it. So something new for this video, if you put a hash in front of a text and then a space, that turns that into a title. If you put different types, different numbers of note, you have to have the space. As you can see, different size titles, but obviously the point of that being that you can just format your text inside of these as well. So that's really cool. Yeah, so that was simple. It was easy for us to add a plugin. It was easy for us to learn how to use that plugin just by going through the documentation that's provided and using it. That we can very quickly get up and running. Now, just a note on what I'm doing and what I recommend people do in order to keep this sort of thing under control is what I would recommend you do is, especially if you're a non-coder, just take, like, maybe create a folder called like reference material or something, or markup language notes, or something that lets you know that you need it. Now, I like everything to be organized, so I'm going to put a Z in front of that, which is going to obviously put it down the very bottom. We can put things around, and now I have a folder for markup language notes, and what I can do is I can put a note inside here, and I can do something like make something called like call out boxes, for example. And then what I can do is copy this text that I've already figured out how to get it working over into here as an example for how to do this in the future. And the way I've actually done this on my current realm is I've gone in here. I think I went to the website, I came down here into the notes, and I looked for all of the examples that they offered, and I copied a whole heap of those examples in. And there was a whole heap of them here somewhere. README. Yeah, you can see like they've just got lots of examples on how to make these things work. Oh, and I think I actually typed this out. So these are the different types that work. Oh, I didn't work very well. But what you can do is come in here and go, alright, this one's a note. Just get rid of this so we make it smaller. This one is an abstract. And then what we have is just some examples, as you can see, of what that code does. So by having this, by going through and making a list of the different configuration options that I might be interested in this code, when I'm making my notes and I go, oh, I need to do a call out box, all I'm going to do is come over here, go, alright, there's the call out box that I want that color. I'm going to come back to my note, and then I'm going to paste my text, and now I have my call out box with my text in it. So you can see that's very, very easy. And this concept doesn't just apply to this plugin, right? This is just one example. If you were to go away, install all of your plugins, and then have something similar when you come back and obviously do this, then you're making your life easier as you're moving forward. And obviously we're going to be dealing with a lot of data. We're going to be importing a hell of a lot of content. So having quick reference guides for you to do this without having to stop and think about the code is certainly the way I would approach this. So anyway, there you go, guys. We've gone through now how to create a vault, how to create a folder, how to create a note. We know how to access the settings, we know how to add a plugin, and we know how to enable and use one of those plugins. We've learned basically that there is a way to not have to worry so much about the code by keeping notes on common code that we're going to use. So hopefully this will help you sort of get started on your journey. And obviously watch out for new videos, because from here we're going to start getting more complex, and what I'll do is I'll start to create videos on different plugins, how to use them, the benefit that you're going to take from those plugins, and hopefully over time we'll start to see some really mature sort of vaults coming out of the community, and I can't wait to see what people do with this tool. So really exciting times, guys. I'm really quite happy with this application. It's blown my mind that it's been out there and I didn't know about it for too long. So anyway, hope you guys have a great night. I will speak to you on the forums, and obviously like and subscribe if you like this content, and we'll chat shortly. Have a good one.